Hey ladies, welcome back to the Her Faith Walk Ministries by Priscilla J YouTube channel. I'm Priscilla and I am excited that you're here again for another video. If you're new, welcome to the channel. I look a bit different today because I am going through some things mentally, but I wanted to get on here today and have a chat with you all about faith-driven optimism and also do a mental health check-in. So I'm going to get some water and a little bit of something to eat, and then I'll sit down and we'll have this chat. Hope you join me. All right, ladies, I have my ice water here and my pancake that I'm nibbling on. So truth be told, I'm really not in the mood to eat, but I like to drink lemon ice water. That's really good. And I'm forcing myself to eat. So to give you like a background, I guess, recap of what's been going on. So lately I had just been feeling like I was doing really well. Really, I guess, feeling like I was in a regular state. I wasn't feeling, any mania. I wasn't feeling any depression. And so with that feeling, I began to, I guess, be really excited. And I decided, okay, well, if you're feeling this good, you can take on more things. And so I started to take on more things, and I started to be responsible for more things and, stretch myself almost to the point where it started to get overwhelming. And when it started to get overwhelming, I was on that hamster wheel for all that time, but it's like I tripped at one point. And when I tripped, that's when I began to slow down and slow down and slow down and slow down until all of a sudden I was just in a flat place. The excitement was no longer there, in a flat place. And so I'm much better than I was a couple days ago. But right now I'm fighting through a depressive state. And it's, this whole bipolar thing is just very interesting because you just have to watch yourself. And if you are able to, like me, and this is such a blessing to be able to do with living with this disease for so long, the bipolar side of it, about 14 years, I'm able to recognize when something is off. And so I started to recognize, the speed at which I was working and the fact that, okay, Priscilla, you need rest at some point. You're just going and going and going. And when I realized I couldn't slow myself down, it was like my body, my mind just started to slow down. And that's like where the depression came in. So I hope that wasn't redundant. I'm trying to explain this to you all in the best way and to also make it make sense with the topic for this week. So the topic for this week is faith-driven optimism. And I have found, after living in years of deep depression, that there came a time in my life that I needed to rewire my thinking. And when I say rewire my thinking, it was because I had become a very pessimistic person. I felt like nothing good in life could happen to me. I was always going to be miserable. I was always going to be in a depressed state. And one thing that I can tell you is, in order for me to begin healing and really embrace the healing that God had available for me, I had to begin thinking more positively. I had to stop thinking so negatively. And so, some people might wonder, well, how are you able to do that? And one of the ways that I was able to do that, and I still do it, is through faith-driven optimism. And faith-driven optimism for me is all about believing in what you've seen God do before. So if you've seen God work in somebody else's life, or if you've seen God work in your life before, and you find yourself stuck back in a place you don't like, having faith that he can do it again, because that's his track record, can cause you to be more positive about the situation and be more optimistic that you're going to pull out of it. So for me, this is like a depressive state right now, but it's not the worst. So that's one piece of positivity. I've seen God pull me out of even worse than this. That's another piece of positivity. And I've seen myself in happier places, more joyful places. And so I know that this is temporary because God is faithful. And, if God does things once, he can do it again. And so my faith is in my God. My faith is in my healer, Jesus. And so that's why faith-driven optimism can be so important for Christian mental health, or for anyone that's really dealing with a mental health condition. Because when you go from day to day feeling really horrible for months on end, years on end, you could become like me and you could get to the point where you feel like, there's no point of, continuing to go on. Life's never going to look great for me. It's never going to look like so-and-so's life. And you might be right. It may not look like so-and-so's life, but God has a precious, perfect life in store for you. It's perfect because it's a life that he has designed based on his will. It doesn't mean perfect as in everything will go exactly the way you want it to go. But just knowing that you serve a God that loves you and that is looking out for your best interests, that really helps. So I want to just encourage you, if you feel like you're in a pessimistic space, we have been talking about daily joy and we have been talking about how gratitude can be a mental health booster. Start to think about how you can rewire your thoughts on a long-term basis. So not just for today, but the fact that you are going to begin to lean on your faith, your belief in Jesus Christ, the many things that you have seen God do in the lives of you and the lives of others, and you're going to ask God to rewire your thoughts so that initially you'll always think more positively and more optimistically than you will negatively. So that's really all I have for you all today. I hope that you enjoy the video. I am going to continue just to get better, take some time for myself, relax, read a book for myself, just get organized and get the little things that I absolutely need to get done, done here and there. And I am thankful that the next time I get on a run, my prayer is, and I'm thanking God in advance because I believe this, my prayer is that I'm not going to take too much on, but I'm going to do what I can. And, my hope, my desire, my faith in God is that he will ultimately get me to a point where I feel a sense of normalcy and balance in the bipolar. So that's all for today. Let me know if there's anything I can keep in prayer for you. Prayer has been very vital for me, and you probably heard that several times on this channel, me talk about that. So praying for myself is going to be something I'm doing right now, but I also have a prayer board and I wouldn't mind praying for you as well. And then finally, I'm going to be working in my new prayer journal that I actually created, and I'm offering it on my store on my website. And it has Christian mental health prayer journaling prompts. And I definitely feel like I need to go through some of those right now to, help me get back into a good space. All right, so this is it for this week. Of course, another episode of Pathways of Grace will come out, and then I'll be back the following week with our last installment of this series about gratitude. All right, so you all take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.